Good morning, YouTube. So, out with Wolfface and Articulated. He's not really called Articulated, he's called Arctic, but anyway, I call him Articulated. Oh God, the puddles are very well, we're out in Leningrad Oblast. Don't suppose I'll be out for that long. Oh, I've lost my hood. There we go. Better. I've got my hood on, keep warm. Quite a bit warmer today. Good morning, whoever's online. Welcome to Leningrad Oblast. Road is just south, just outside of St. Petersburg, Russia's northern capital. Not sure if anybody's going to be on. It is a Saturday. Not sure how many people, if anybody's going to be coming online, but we'll see. What are we going to talk about today? Well, it seems the decree is still a hot topic, and some clarifications have been made to make it even more unclassified. So, and a new law as well. They're really having a go at immigrants at the moment. So, another new law coming out is that if you're an immigrant coming to Russia, then unless you've worked 5 years in Russia, then you ain't going to get free medical care. Because if you didn't know, Russia has a similar system to the UK of the NHS kind of thing, where you get free medical care. But now they're bringing out a new law where immigrants, unless they've worked 5 years in Russia, official work, not sort of cash in hand or anything, then, and can prove it, then they ain't going to get free medical care. That's another new thing that they're bringing on to immigrants, another attack on immigrants. Apparently what it's to do with is people coming from Asian countries, mass immigration, and they want to cut it under control, basically. Because like any country, if you've got out of control immigration, it upsets the population, upsets the balance, becomes a little Tajikistan or a little Uzbekistan or whatever. A bit like Britain's got now out of control immigration, where it's turning the tide, where people, hey, hello, especially those from Asia who don't want to integrate, because like a lot of Asian folks, you get in England with the Indians, Pakistanis, where they group together in little groups and take over areas and then start imposing their own laws like Sharia law and stuff like this. That doesn't happen in Russia. The Muslim population is not like that. They're not kind of fanatics like they are from some places. But still, they don't want these people turning towns into only for Uzbekis or whatever. So they're having a crampdown on immigration. Part of that clampdown is the new decree, and now the next part of it is the medical thing, where you had immigrants coming in to Russia from basically very poor countries like Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, whatever, one of the stands, and they were coming here and just coming here as medical tourists kind of thing, getting free healthcare and then going back again and just draining the resources. So they've now brought out a new law. I'm not sure when it's going to come into place. How about Hungary? I don't know. I'm not hungry. I haven't had breakfast yet though. So the new law is that if you come into Russia now, you'll have to work 5 years with an official job. That means like pensioners won't get it, things like that. how it's exactly going to be implemented, who it will affect and all the rest of it, again, unknown at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see about that. But it is another law for immigrants, stopping them coming in. This is not Hungary, no, Russia, St. Petersburg, Russia, just outside St. Petersburg. Sorry, I just realised what you're asking. Just outside of St. Petersburg, Russia, Leningrad Oblast. So the new law will come in and prevent people from coming as medical tourists, which is about time. That should have never been allowed in the first place. Should have been clamped down straight away. So, yeah, I mean, people coming in for very, very expensive medical treatments. You know, very, without having any kind of input into the country at all. Coming broke with no money, emigrating here, working illegal jobs, and then getting free healthcare, then going back to wherever they came from with a pile of money. It's just wrong. So they're clamping down on that now, about time. I think the UK should take an example of that. But so that's one of the laws that's coming. Another one, of course, is the decree that all male members, or all male immigrants between the ages of 18 and 65 must serve 1 year in the military. Where are you from, Scott? No, I'm from Sheffield, England, originally. So the new decree about the 1 year military service for new immigrants coming in. So you can't get residence here anymore unless you're kind of super rocket scientists or something, or you've paid for a golden visa, you know, you've invested some vast amount of money into the country. So unless you've got one of those categories, you're stuck with the military decree for now. How long that decree, nobody knows. Who's going to be exempt from it, nobody knows, but they're working on it. We hear. But on the other hand, they could exempt Westerners. But big up Sheffield. Hello, Sheffield Steel. How are you doing? So they're all. So who it's going to affect, we don't know yet. So they're working on it anyway. They're working on it. But you know, the thing is, if you're an immigrant coming here, why are you any better than somebody coming from a third world country? You could argue that case, you know. We're all immigrants to the country, so you know, what have people brought here to the country? You know, for me, what have I brought here? No skills as such, you know, not really. Nothing anybody else couldn't do. Whatever, I've brought investment here. You know, I've invested my money, what I had here. So I'm not sponging off the state. I'm not, you know, I've got my own pension that I worked for. So, you guys exited the EU but still let the migrants in, Uncle Boris. Yeah, that was the UK. How stupid was that? I don't understand why people voted for Brexit. It's just beyond me. It's just absolutely beyond me why they would. I mean, what's it achieved? Tell me something. Somebody tell me something that Brexit has achieved. Nothing. As far as I haven't stopped the immigrants. They said there's like where there was one coming in, now there's two coming in, immigrants. So it's kind of doubled the immigrants coming into the UK. So well done. I mean, under international law, immigrants or refugees, they should go to the first safe country of refuge. So if they're coming from Syria or somewhere, they'll come into the first country in Europe. They should stay there, not be moving into other countries like the UK or whatever. But UK is too soft, ain't it? You know, it's been like that for years and years and years. It needs to be sorted out. Free healthcare, of course they're going to come. This is what Russia's having a crackdown on now, you know, with immigrants. You know, you can come here, yeah, fine, but you're going to work for it. You're going to work for your residence. You ain't going to get your free healthcare. You're not going to bring your whole family across, all 50 of them, and you're all going to get frigging free healthcare. You know, you come in and out, you're going to have to work for it. And I think that alone will stop immigrants coming in. That alone will be a big stopper for a lot of them. And so it should be. Every country needs immigrants. They need Immigrants, people say, oh, you know, what do they do? Well, they bring in a fresh perspective on life. They bring in skills from outside, technology and stuff. So immigrants are, good morning, are a big thing coming into any country. New England is made in India. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but the immigrants are needed, but just not in mass immigration. They should be selected. You know, if you've got something to bring into the country, allowed. If you haven't, then you know, you can't come in. You know, if you're coming into a country as an immigrant, not as a refugee, that's something different. But if you're coming in as an immigrant, then you should be able to finance yourself at the very least. You know, have your own finances, not be reliant on the host country to feed you and clothe you, and pay for your medical expenses all free, while you pay for nothing, sitting on some benefit, you know. Crazy. And so Russia's having a crackdown now, about time and all. You walk a lot every day, it's good for your health. It is good for my health. Well, we can't see there. Natasha, I guess. Natasha. Yeah, it's good for my health. I don't walk every day. I can't walk every day. Yesterday I was up in Przyrsk. We were fixing the machine. That's done. It's done yesterday. Well, it's not fixed, but it's kind of, my bit of it is fixed. So I won't be going back there. So I couldn't do that yesterday, and the day before, again, I was up there, so I wasn't walking. Only the wife was walking in the daytime, and I was walking on at night time. So now I'm back home. That's finished. I won't be going back to do the last bit of that machine. It was a hydraulic problem, and then I fixed the electrics, and the hydraulics are gone. So back to walking. Yeah. I will be going to St. Petersburg at some point next week. I think around about the 26th or something. The wife's going, so I'm going to go with her, and she's going to go and do whatever she does in her office, whatever they do. And I'm going to go and live stream around the town. I think maybe Aussie Spy might come with me. I'm not sure. Maybe he'll, maybe he won't. Hopefully he will. I like being around him. He's a good guy. He makes live streams a lot more lively, doesn't he? If you didn't know, by the way, Aussie Spy, you must have seen him on my channel, right? You must have seen our live streams. He actually wrote a book, and I've forgotten the name, but I did a short yesterday. There's an AI short out that he created, and I put it on I released a short on my channel. Have a look if you're into reading, into spy novels. He's kind of a spy novel writer. It's released a while ago, and so I thought I'd try and give it a boost, try and get in some sales. But he's a nice fella. Apart from being upside down because he's from Australia, you know, can be forgiven for that, can't he? So yeah, the immigration problem has come to a head here in Russia, where local population has had enough of it. Seen too many of them coming in by the millions. Now they're going. St. Petersburg, honestly, is crazy for immigrants. It's absolutely madness. There's just so many, and Moscow as well, apparently. It's just absolutely madness. Whole areas covered in just migrants, not integrated. The trouble with migrants, like me, you know, I'm a migrant, right? But I integrated. I don't live in a little clique of Westerners, you know. Apart from Aussie Spy, he's the only one I know. Before him, I only met him this year, right? Literally this year, the first live stream I did with him. I've never actually, other than one girl who I did a quick interview with for a YouTube channel, I've never met another Westerner here. So integration is a big thing, and I think that's a big problem in the UK, that they don't integrate. They get in their own areas, their own little cliques, and then they try and impose their own rules, this Sharia law, whatever it is. And it's wrong, you know. So you're going to come to a country, whatever country, wherever you're immigrating to, you've got to integrate into society and take on and respect their culture, their laws. And you should be able to, you know, I mean, I've heard it, you know, people emigrated to escape something, you know, escape debt, for instance. I think debt should be looked at a lot more carefully with immigrants. If they've got debt from a previous country, then that should be an automatic ban. No, you go home until you've sorted it out, then you can come back as an immigrant when you've got X amount of finances. I don't agree that people should be allowed to immigrate without a certain level of finance, so they can so they can look after themselves if things go wrong, if they don't get a job, if they don't like it. Maybe they don't like the culture. If they don't like the country, they want to go home again. But if they've spent all their money coming here and trying to integrate, and then they've got no money to go home again, and they're stuck. So that should be something looked at, I think, that people have enough finances to sustain themselves when they come here, not just come kind of on a wing and a prayer, or have something here, some asset that they could sell. Maybe they come here and they've got enough money to invest into buying a house or something like that. I don't know. Wisdom is mine. Hiya, hello, wisdom is mine. Brandon French, hello Brandon. How are you doing today? So if you didn't know, I've got a new Telegram channel running. I obviously have the Russia expat info, which was my immigrant side, but I thought, you know, I'm going to start my own Telegram, yet another Telegram channel. This one is just for this YouTube. It's just for me, it's just for this, and for the people who subscribe to the channel. So you get, so if you want to, on Telegram you can directly communicate with me. Telegram's always on my phone. I'm always there somewhere, lurking. So you can directly communicate, and I'll probably post things on there that I wouldn't post normally on YouTube. So if you're interested in Telegram, or you want to communicate directly with me, you'll find a link on the profile. It's called The Home Mother Russia. Same channel name. Same. Come on, we're going this way. Come on. Same channel. Come on, we're going this way. Yeah, we're not going back yet. Come on. Yeah, we're not going back yet. He looks happy about that. I thought he was going home. So, same name, same. Is that necessary? Same name, same. What do you call it? Same picture and all that. And there's a Telegram channel, and there's also a link on there to the chat bit, which will be. So there's a free chat in there. So if you want to come on there and say hello, come on there and say hello. I'm always around on Telegram. Also on the expat info, but I decided that the expat info Telegram channel was purely for immigrants. Really, that's all it was for. And so really not really appropriate for people to be on there if they're not immigrating to Russia. So it's better if I have my own Telegram channel away from that. Obviously I can be a little bit political at times, and that's a place to be political, where it can be moderated and whatever. Much better way of doing things then, because the Telegram channel for immigrants at Russia Expat Info is really for immigrants, and I don't want to be blocked up with political stuff. We try and keep that to a minimum there, because people are looking for vital information in their immigration, is that the right word? The immigration process. Obviously looking for where they've got to go, what they've got to do, what time limits they've got to do, new laws and stuff. So, and stuff that's local to Russia, you know, security threats. If we didn't know Ukraine, the SBU, which is the Ukrainian kind of like England's MI6 or MI5, like American CIA, they've now decided to go on a terror campaign across Russia, which they did before. And basically what they're doing now is they get a roll of banknotes, roll them together and put a little device inside it, and whoever picks it up loses their hand. And the first victim was a 14-year-old boy, picked one up and lost best part of his hand. 14-year-old boy. So that's what Ukraine does to people. That's their tactics. They are scumbags as far as I'm concerned to do that. Dropping improvised explosive devices into a civilian population. There's no logic behind it at all. There is no military target in doing that. If it was a military, if they were doing it inside military bases, I could understand that. Military, you know, you're at war, fair game, but not to civilian population. It's a terrible thing to do. It's not the first time they've done it. Probably not widely reported in the West about it, if reported at all, but basically they've been putting car bombs under people's cars. They've killed a number of people, including they went for a bloody philosopher, you know, a philosopher, and they went for him famous guy Dugin, and they went for him, put a car bomb under his car, and his daughter drove the car, and she got blown to bits and killed. So yeah, that's the kind of thing they do. These people, scumbags. But anyway, I digress. So that's what we have to watch out for with this war. They're trying to bring terrorism to Russia. It's pure terrorism. It's not. These are illegal acts. They're not acts of war. They're acts of terrorism. But of course, the Western newspaper will never report on it, because why would they? They want Ukraine to look so bloody clean and glossy white angels, and Russia to look so bad. So if you didn't follow the news, Ukraine has lost Pokrovsk and a few other towns these last few days. A lot of it is collapsed. Now a lot of the front lines have collapsed, and they're basically, as they have been the whole time, on the retreat. So a fighting retreat, what I would call it in ambience. Come out of there, you! A fighting retreat is where you're retreating but you're fighting to slow the enemy approach. Not doing a very good job of it, if you ask me, but anyway, that's what they're at. So it's a lovely day here. It is warmer than it has been, and there is no wind. It's quite nice today. Go on, you two. Quite nice day. Yesterday up at Priozersk, up by the sea. My God, it was blowing wind up there. It's freezing me tits off, kind of thing, you know. And we actually moved the machine. Well, I moved the machine to a bit of a sheltered place out the wind while we removed the. We actually removed the hydraulic cylinder from the hammer once I got the electrics going. So that's now gone for repair, and I've no doubt they'll have it repaired in a few days. I'm back on it. So I'm from the UK. Good. How are you? Hi from the UK, Elliot James. Hello, Elliot James from the UK. How are you doing in the UK? I hope it's nicer weather than we're getting here. Although this isn't, in Russia there's a mentality where nobody particularly likes winter, but it's kind of accepted as a natural thing. It's not dreaded. This kind of thing. It's accepted as a natural phenomenon. That's hard to explain. It's hard to explain the mindset, but not something to be dreaded, but something that's natural and kind of, hard to explain that in Western terms. But so the winter is not really dreaded so much as expected and dealt with, kind of. And as you can see, we're not in the full. I don't call this the full winter yet. It's still too warm, way too warm for winter. It's only today's probably 0 or just, it's icy on the underfoot. The snow's icy, it's probably crunching. And there's no water on the puddles are frozen. So expected of night time it was slightly minus, slightly. And now I think it's warmed up a little bit, probably just +1 or something, +2 maybe, something like that. We're not expecting the really cold weather yet. Kind of January, February is kind of when it really gets horrible. But on the other hand, in January, once we've passed the sort of the December period, when it gets to January, it starts to get lighter every day. So you get like 1 minute of daylight extra every day, and then 2 minutes, and then 3 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever. And then it gets like 1 minute in the morning, 1 minute in the evening. So you get 2 minutes per day, and it quickly builds up. Suddenly you find it's much lighter in the daytime. Light is a big thing for me. Do not like being in the winter, dark periods. Hello, Night Free X, Frex. How you doing? So yeah, light is a big thing for me. I don't like to be in the dark, miserable. I like to be daylight, sunlight. So it's a case of waiting for that to occur, and at the moment it's getting darker and darker, and it will continue getting darker every day. At the moment it's kind of pitch black by about 5 o'clock here, maybe a bit later, but around about 5 o'clock, yeah, that's it, you're done. In the morning, it's getting light. It's still light about 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It gets light again. So from about 9 till 5, you've got to daylight, and that'll gradually come down. But it's very grey at the moment. It's very, very grey, and the reason the grey is because there's still a lot of snow in the sky. It takes a while for that to get out the system, and then once that's gone and it's stopped snowing, the snow will lay, and then it'll come out sunny. It'll be nice, you know. So it's Jackie, come here. Good boy. Come here, Jackster. Hey, Wolfie, Wolfface, come here. Come here, yo. What are you doing? What are you doing? G'day, Palky. G'day, Palky. G'day, Palky. G'day, Palky. So, it's all Wolfface there. Oh, what's that way? You managed to still carry on with the harsh winter and the flurry of snow. Here, everything comes to a stop. Yeah, it was a thing I noticed in the UK years ago. Years and years and years ago. That a slight one snowflake passes by the window and that's it. Schools are stopped, the roads are stopped, everything's stopped. Railways don't run. Everybody's in panic and skidding and bumping, and yeah, I get it. Oh, that's because the UK is not winterised, is it? There's still no law, as far as I'm aware, no law in the UK about having winter tyres. So the first bit of ice and snow, and people are caught in summer tyres. And if you've got summer tyres on a car in the winter, yeah, it don't do you a lot of good. Not recommended. If you're in the UK, you're driving, winter, get yourself some studless winter tyres. You'll be a lot better on the roads, a lot better for it. Should have been a law brought out years ago, shouldn't it, that in certain time that maybe around about, I don't know, November, people should switch to winter tyres. Yo, it's the Grim from Harry Potter, the Prisoner of Azkaban. Ah, Jeff Gaming. So I guess that's, you've been reading the books, haven't you? Harry Potter, as I like to call him. But if you're into books, my mate Aussie Spy, I'll give another plug here. My mate Aussie Spy, you know him, you've seen him in the live streams. He actually wrote a book and it's on sale. And there's a link to it somewhere. There's a short I put out about it. There's a link to it there. Or you can click on his thing, his YouTube, and you'll find a link to it there, to his website where he sells his book. Great book, I hear. A lot of people have read it and like it. I haven't read it myself yet. But I'm not into... It's a kind of a spy thriller. I'm not really into spy thrillers. Not my thing. Obviously he is. Hence the name, Aussie Spy. But anyway. If you're into spy thrillers, go and have a look at his book. I'm sure it's a brilliant read for people who like that kind of thing. Spy things. I'm more into sci-fi stuff. I like me Star Trek and things like that, sci-fi stuff. I always think that sci-fi stuff, there's an element that maybe it could be real, you know. It could one day be real. One day could happen. Like, do you remember when Star Trek came out and they had the old flip things? You know, they could talk into them, the flip radio things, and I forget what they call them. And years later, these became flip phones. You know, they became a reality. You know, people talked. If you watch the original Doctor Who series in black and white, the originals, and they were talking through a TV screen, you know, now we've got that, haven't we? You know, you've got it here, you know, here we are doing it. We're doing what they predicted all those years ago. So for sci-fi, to me, there's an element of reality that it could happen. Even if some of it is way far-fetched, there's an element that it could become real, and I like that about it. That's what gets me hooked, you know. You're thinking, you know, could that really happen one day? You know, I wonder. It's amazing what technology has brought through. Russia's really, the technology here is really shot along from what it was. From being remember, it was a closed country up until '91, I think it was, when the Berlin Wall fell and the collapse of the Soviet Union happened. Before that was a closed country. A few people had been here. It was kind of a cold place far away from the west, and an authoritarian place where few Westerners had been. And I thought it was a really closed country, and so the trouble with closed countries is they stagnate. They don't have technology boosts kind of thing. This is why it comes back again to why you need immigration to a limited degree, or to basically controlled immigration is the thing, I don't agree with the UK's policy just letting anybody on a banana boat or inflatable dinghy crossing France and keeping them in the UK in a bloody hotel for years on end while they look at their asylum claim. What a way to go. There's no way. Any asylum claims coming from France should be directly transported straight back to France, because France is the first or the last country, the safe country that they came from. And on international law, that's a safe country, right? So they should go straight back there. There should be no ifing and butting and waiting for years and years. The asylum claims in hotels and whatever, it should be put straight on the boat, straight back again, and kept left there, and that's it. And maybe after 4 or 5 attempts, they might get the idea and not try and come. And again, cutting off medical help for these people, except for emergency care only. If they got dumped in the sea while they were trying to cross, they got a curse of pneumonia or something, treated, put on the next boat, sent straight back. There you go. My opinion. But, I'm a nobody. Hello, Jack here. Jackie Chan. Gonna get some. Gonna do a bit of maintenance of my tools, ready for going back to Novgorod after the snow's gone. Still haven't got the van running. Haven't even looked at it, to be honest. I don't like working in the cold. But hopefully, gonna get that running and start looking at my tools and whatever. And getting things, the compressor I want to have a look at, I want to set it so that it will, the cut in and cut off pressure basically on the compressor for the nail gun is not as I would like it. I'd like it to cut in earlier, because the last bit of pressure, the last nail doesn't knock it in all the way, so you need to keep a good pressure on the nail gun. Basically it should be a slightly bigger compressor, but when you're building you don't want to be humping a compressor about, so it's a little bit on the small side. So I'd like to alter that so that it cuts in a bit easier. Not sure how I can do that. I can change the maximum pressure, but I can't change the cutting speed yet to work it out how to do it. There's a couple of YouTube videos there was ages ago, and I saw and I thought, oh, must do that, and then I lost it. So I watched YouTuber go to a cafe called Back to the SSSR in Moldova. Very confusing for him. Especially what you said about close countries. Yeah, I can understand that. SSSR. If you, I know it looks like CCCP, but it's Cyrillic. It means SSSR. It's a Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or it was at the time. Yeah, it's. I can't imagine going to a close country. It must have been very difficult for people to see the outside world. I mean, some things we don't want to see. In some ways, you think, I'd like to see a closed country again, because I don't want to see the woke nonsense and the transgenderism pushed onto kids, mutilation of kids, if you ask me. I think it's wrong. No kids should be touched. They should be at least 18 before they can make that kind of decision, and probably more like 20 something before they can really make a life-changing decision to put kids on puberty blockers, which means they haven't even developed into their cells properly. you know, they're not matured sexually, so how can they know what they want before they hit even puberty? To put puberty blockers on, it's just craziness. And apparently there was a study done where they're seeing problems with this now, early problems of thin bones, brittle bone syndromes, things like this coming on, because they've not had a chance to mature properly. You know, not as a female or a male, they've just been blocked. It's kind of a neutral status, haven't they? Completely wrong. That's just my opinion. Maybe people can condemn me for that, but I don't care. I'm in Russia, we can see what we're like. To a degree. Like everything, like every place, there's rules here as well, of course. Certain things I can't say, but majority of the time, yeah. Common sense I can. You know. I love snow and blizzards. Oh, Natasha, you're mad. No way. Snow's okay. Well, it's kind of, look, it's frozen now. It's all frosty, but there's not a lot of it down yet. It's kind of frosty on the foot. It's nice at the moment, but later in the day today, that'll start getting all melty and horrible, all slushy and there. That's not nice. And no matter what boots you wear, whatever footwear you got on, tend to get wet with slush. So, where are you going? Come on, this way. I can see what you're looking at, dog. I just know where he's heading to. Oh, blizzards I don't like. Most definitely not. Not for me. I've been in some horrible weather when I was doing pile foundations. Really horrible. And, really don't like that at all, that weather. We're almost back at the house now. We've had a good run. We've been out 37 minutes, so it's time for a cup of tea. I've had my tablet this morning. Oh God, the neighbour's fence again. Why do they do that? Come out there, you! Driving nuts going down there. No matter what I do, down they go. Especially the mongrel, he's the worst one for it. The black one, if I try to keep away, I'll keep away. Come out there, come on! Come on! Jackie! Come on! Jackie! Come out there! Hey! Jackie, come here! Come out there! Come out there! Jackie! Jackie! Come on! Hey! Come on! Come out there! Jackie! Hey! Jackie! Jackie! Come out there! Swine today. Come out there! Come on! Jackie! That's it. Don't bark at him, you're just as bad. You're just as bad. Bugger. Oh, it's snowing now. Don't know if you can see that, but we're snowing pretty well. It's going to be another snowy day. Quite cold on the hands, but not too bad. Been worse. Not sure if you can see the snow coming down or not. It's not thick snow, it's kind of a very small flakes, but coming down quite fast. Obviously wet snow. It's nice when the come on out of there. It's nice when the snow comes down and it's kind of big soft flakes. That's kind of nice now. This is kind of yeah, small hard flakes, very wet kind of snow. But there you go. It's snowing. So snowy Russia. Yeah, it was home time. Time for a cup of tea, dogs. I have a tablet this morning. Mrs. Mix. I have to have a tablet with vinegar. Can you imagine taking tablets, drinking vinegar, apple vinegar? It's bleeding revolting. And then I can't have anything to drink or eat for an hour after. So, don't mind me, it's it'll do me a world of good. So I have to be careful because I've had my mini stroke, or micro stroke, so I've got to be careful and do as I'm told. And she's got me on these damn tablets. Horrible that they are, but anyway, look at the car, the van, completely covered. But must get that cleaned off and get that fixed, and so I can get out and about. Okay folks, it's been a nice walk. Hopefully get out in St. Petersburg this week at some point, and also next week, because now it's Saturday today obviously, and get a nice live stream around the town there somewhere. Try and get Aussie Spy to come along with me and have a look around and whatever. So I'm out for now. Have a good day wherever you are in the world. Peace to everybody. And if you've got a parent alive or a brother and sister, give them a call today on the phone and say, hey mum, how's it going? Hey dad, how's it going? And they'll be glad to hear from you. Okay, I'm out. See you again.